I competed at B Team Jiu Jitsu against some of the best purple and blue belts in the country. I ended up facing a Division 1 wrestler, a 15-year-old prodigy, and a member of the B Team. My first match is against a skilled leg locker. As I try going around his legs, he enters into a leg lock, but I'm able to get the inside position with my legs and attack a leg lock of my own. But I lose control of his knee, and I'm not able to finish it.
Some heavy breathing. Must be the tree mode in the air today.
He tries attacking my legs, but I'm able to grab his arm and start looking for an armbar. However, I hold on too long, and we end up in this weird position from which he's able to lock up a parado plata. He starts bringing my hand behind my back, so I roll, but as I try to come up, he gets up before me and starts going for the finish. Time was running out, and I just had to survive. The match ends in a draw. In this competition, the only way to win a match was by submission. Every competitor goes against each other once, and the person with the most submissions at the end won. Having not got a submission in that match, I needed to make it up in my next match against Wissam, a former Division 1 wrestler. Wissam starts the match off at a fast pace. He gets past my legs and attacks an armbar, but I slip my elbow. Wissam gets past my legs again with a fast knee slice and falls back for another armbar.
Here we go again.
But I'm able to hitchhike her out to escape. He throws up a triangle, but I slip my elbow and go for the double underpass. He comes up to his knees, and I try taking his back, but I'm not able to keep up in the wrestling scramble.
Josh Richards looks pretty calm in these bad positions, honestly.
Wissam has some insanely explosive passing, but in this format, the only way to win is to get a sub, so I keep my elbows tight to make sure I don't get submitted. I go to wrestle up, but Wissam does a diving front headlock. I bring my back to the mat to avoid the choke, and Wissam transitions from north-south to mount. The mount can be a hard position to escape, but I get my elbows inside his thighs, which gives me the power to bridge and shake my legs to escape. I invert under Wissam, but he's able to kick out. It's really hard to get a hold of him. He passes with another diving front headlock and tries looking for a north-south choke, but I use my elbows to make space for my knees to come in and escape. Wissam hits a crazy hip switch and gets past my legs.
Are you serious right now, bruh?
He falls back for an armbar, but my elbow's out, so I go to the double underpass. He turtles, but before I can get to his back, he turns into me. I try hitting a butterfly sweep, but I overcommit, and he jumps to the other side for a pass. He grabs a Kimura. This is the tightest submission he's locked up yet. One wrong move and I'll get tapped. I turtle to defend, but Wissam pulls me up and throws his hooks in. So I grab a 2-on-1, bring his arm around my head, and turn into him to escape. Now I'm on top in a good position, but time was running out. So I try going for a spinning armbar, but Wissam turtles and hits a duck under, which forces me back on bottom, and soon after, the match ends. That was a tough match, but there's even tougher matches to come, like my match against Roman, a member of the B Team. But first, I'm going against Andrew. He starts the match at a crazy pace, but as I enter into a leg lock, he falls back, and I try moving into north-south. I try to stay low to stop his knees from coming in. I clear his legs, so Andrew turtles, and I hop onto his back. He tries coming up, but I bring his arm behind his back and stop him. This is a cheeky Kimura I do to stop people from slipping out of my back control. I push his hand down, get across wrist grip, and trap his arm. He only has one hand to defend the choke now. I go for the choke, and Andrew starts spinning. We hit the pillar, and Andrew frees himself from my hook. We get reset, and now I only have one hook in. To retake his back, I put my right foot on the mat, and I scoot under him to take him over to the other side. If you have one hook in, you always want that to be the bottom hook. I throw my hook over his arm once again and start looking for the choke, but he has good back defense.
I'm really impressed with both these guys, both the escapes and the control here.
I stay on Andrew's back for a while. I only had 6 minutes of rest between each match, and I was feeling it. It was getting harder and harder to maintain back control. And eventually, he's able to escape. At this point, I feel like I'm running on empty, but Andrew, on the other hand, is going all out. Time is running out, and Andrew jumps his hips forward, and we end up in a leg lock shootout. I try going for a straight ankle, but it doesn't work, and the match ends in another draw. Now it's time for me to face the 15-year-old prodigy, Jet. He was leg locking everyone in this tournament, so I knew this would be a tough match. Jet sits to guard, and the match quickly starts getting pulled into his game. He enters into K-guard. I fall back and push off with my leg to defend, but he switches to attacking that leg. I try freeing my leg as I control his far leg, but he's able to swim his leg through, and in this position, he starts looking for the heel hook. I turn to defend, and we end up going out of bounds. We get reset, and for a second, it seems like I'm about to be blessed by being reset in neutral instead of in the leg lock. But then...
Same position, right?
I'm sure Ethan's just going to completely botch this.
Ethan, absolutely incredible refereeing here.
We get reset in honey hole. He starts looking for a heel hook, so I start rolling. By pointing my toes and rolling out, I'm able to hide my heel. Jet knows I can keep turning if he chases the heel, so instead he grabs my toes and starts putting on some knee bar pressure. I try slipping my knee out, but he starts chasing my heel again, so I turn. But Jet takes my leg to the other side. Try fighting his legs, but my foot gets pushed out too far. He's able to hit an Aoki lock.
Very tight. Jab puts Jet.
That was the first time Josh has been submitted.
Now it's time for my final match against Roman, a wrestler, purple belt, and member of the B team. This would be my chance to use everything I had left in the gas tank. I lift him with a barfly hook, then stab him down into a front headlock, but he pulls out. He goes for a diving front headlock, but my frame across his neck stops him. I grab his wrist and hit an arm drag. Whenever you grab someone's wrist from seated guard, there's always arm drags available. I drag his arm across and he steps the leg up, so I switch to a single leg. He tries diving for my leg, but I pummel it away. He starts inverting. I free my leg and sprawl out on his shot. Then I start looking for his back, but he brings his back to the mat before I can get to it. He recovers his guard, and I start trying to pass. He uses a butterfly hook to extend my leg out, and puts me in rubber guard. As someone who trains at 10th Planet, it would be pretty embarrassing to get tapped here.
It's an interesting choice playing rubber guard against a guy that trains out of 10th Planet.
Yeah.
When here, I make sure to bring their knee to the mat. This limits their mobility, and I'm able to bring my shoulder through and escape. Roman opens up his close guard, and I start trying to pass. Roman inverts, and I start looking to go the north-south, but he hits me with a sick reach-around guard counter. I end up with my guard passed. He goes knee on belly, so I start bringing my knees to my chest and pushing him over my head. I'm able to escape, and I go back on the offensive with an arm drag. But he's able to Granby out and turn into me. I go for another arm drag, and as he steps the leg up, I try switching into single leg X, but he steps the leg out. He spins my leg and starts going for a knee bar. I turn my leg to defend the knee bar and starts going for a toe hold. I fight his hands a bit, and he starts looking for the heel hook. So I turn away to hide my heel. I'm able to push off and escape. I invert under Roman.
A reverse De La Hiva from Josh.
Looks like he's gonna have to turn it into a leg entry of his own. Oh, he's got a bite on the heel, but no leg configuration yet.
That was quite close, quite close.
He's starting to suck those legs in.
But Roman's actually able to rotate out. What are we at? Time's about to run out, 5 seconds left.
So that was the end of the competition. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way I wanted, but I still posted it, since I don't only want to show you guys my high points. I did some rolls at B Team while I was there, so if you guys want to see that, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you next time.